Hi, everybody. Hey, this is Ken Renner, a real estate broker in the North Austin, Liberty Hill, Santa Rita Ranch area. And I just wanted to say I'm really pleased to join with Austin from Vaquero Plumbing. He's going to be one of our vendors at the upcoming Santa Rita local business expo. And Austin serves the has a his office is in Liberty Hill and serves all this Santa Rita area. And just wanted to introduce you to him. We're glad to have you a part of the expo. And so yeah, tell me, Austin, tell me about Vaquero Plumbing, how long you guys been around, and what your specialties are.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. And thanks for having us in the expo. We're
You're
super
welcome.
excited about it. But yeah, so we've been in business. We started right around 2020, kind of after that first winter freeze that we went through.
Yeah.
We're a family-owned business, so we have plumbers in our family, and so we kind of realized the need for plumbers in this area after that happened because our families were affected by it as well. And so we were like, hey, let's get together and build out a company and try to service the people in our area. And so that's really kind of where that came from. And so we're residential service and repair is our bread and butter. We love serving our Liberty Hill residents. And yeah, so we're in Liberty Hill. We service really kind of the northern area of Austin, so Liberty Hill, Leander, Cedar Park, Georgetown, those areas. But Santa Rita's kind of right in smack in the middle of where we're at, and so we're excited to kind of see everybody who's going to come out.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you. You know, there's a lot of other synergistic businesses, and that's what we like to do with the expo. Not only do we have typical financial services and insurance and financial advisors and people that are, we even have a dog trainer and things like that. But we have a lot of contractors in there. We have water restoration company, which would fit in well with plumbing. We have
Yep.
roofers, general contractors, and so that's kind of what we like to do. Not only present our businesses to the Santa Rita Ranch community, but also we like to work within each other get to know each other and a lot of business being done within the group of the exhibitors there. So there's over 30 businesses represented and you're one of them. We were just having a talk a little bit before the Zoom here was what are the specialties or things that would be really like critical care when it comes to plumbing. And we talked about my house where the gas leak underneath my stove in the kitchen, and we could smell it, but so we turned it off, and then the plumbing company came out and they couldn't find it, and so that's a pretty scary thing. And so I went and bought that same spray that they use to look at leaks, and I sprayed the heck out of
Good.
it. I
Yeah.
found the leak, and I called them back and said, "Hey, you guys, we don't want the house to blow up, or
No,
even
yeah.
worse, what do they call it, the silent death, where
Yeah. Yeah.
where if the gas is on you, you end up falling asleep and not coming up. So that's that. We appreciate you keeping us all safe as well. Plumbing is obviously something super important to everything, but also keeping us safe from the gas. So tell me about your gas guys that are the ones that specialize in that.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned, gas is just incredibly scary to work with. It can be incredibly scary. And so, what we do is we take a little bit of a different approach than most plumbing companies. We have guys who are dedicated to doing gas work. We want to make sure that they do that one thing really, really well.
Yeah.
Because, like what you talked about, just exactly what's at stake. Not only for your household, but the households that surround you and just everybody involved. It can be a really scary thing. And so we do our due diligence to make sure that when we leave that job, everything's taken care of. And so we really take our time with it and try to make sure that everybody's safe because it can be one of those things where, like you said, you just kind of go to sleep and something could happen. It's just any one of those things can go wrong. So we go the extra mile to make sure that our people are safe.
So yeah. So not all plumbing companies deal with the gas lines, right?
No, no, not all do. I mean, there's some liability there, right? So
Yeah.
you have to find a plumbing company that's willing to take it on. But what we find, especially in a community like Liberty Hill, there's only so many plumbers who service this area. And so it'd be a real shame if people in this area didn't have access to those kind of critical or emergency repairs. And so when we started, we kind of took a look at what's being serviced out there, what kind of still needs to be serviced, and gas lines is one of those things. And so we kind of built a system around that.
So we're coming into winter here, and of course, you said that you started your business out of the Great Freeze. What
Yeah.
suggests people going in? Obviously, the sprinklers being winterized and
Yep.
things like that. But what else would you suggest going into the winter for our plumbing, especially if we have the power go out and it goes out for a couple of days? What are some key things that we should be doing?
Yeah. Well, there's very little good news that came out of the Great Freeze, but one of the things that we've noticed over the last couple of years is people are taking things like winterizing your home very seriously, which is great because it's just if you have a pipe burst, and I'm sure people who see this are probably were in a house where a pipe burst, you know just how much damage can occur. But people are out there taking kind of additional steps like wrapping their outside faucets, leaving the water running, all the typical kind of 101 things. We didn't really have to worry about that before the Great Freeze. And so when it happened, people weren't doing those things. And so we ended up in the situation that we were in. But everybody's learned from that mistake, and people are really good about it. But we can also have our guys go out there and just check, make sure everything for you is up to date and where it needs to be, to give you the best possible chance to avoid having to call me at midnight because your bathroom's flooding or something like that. So we
It
offer
always happens
services
at midnight on a Saturday evening
always.
or a holiday, right?
Always, yeah, always. We constantly are trying to have to keep plumbers on call because we help in those emergency situations. And so, but yeah, people have gotten really good about winterizing their homes, which is awesome. If you need additional help, though, don't be afraid to call us.
All right, Austin, I appreciate you keeping our pipes flowing and keeping our families safe. We'll see you on January 27th at the Small Business Expo here in Santa Rita at the Ranch House. That's going to be from 11 to 3. And we're excited to have you there, and also excited to have the Baller Street Pizza, one of our favorites here, and food truck. So be outside.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
we're
Well, so,
excited. Thanks for having me.
and thanks for sharing this with your friends and your sphere of influence.